Sydney Opera House, Sydney, Australia. Location and importance. Sydney Opera House location, situated at Bennelong Point, a small peninsula projecting into Sydney Harbour, New South Wales, Australia, surrounded by water on three sides, with circular quay to the south, making it one of the most scenic landmark sites in the world. Geographical importance. Perfectly positioned at the heart of Sydney Harbour, near the Sydney Harbour Bridge, creating one of the most photographed skylines globally. Its strategic location symbolises the gateway to Australia, visible to ships and visitors arriving by sea. Cultural and artistic importance. Recognised as Australia's premier performing arts centre, hosting opera, ballet, symphony, theatre, and global cultural events. Serves as home to major companies: Opera Australia, the Australian Ballet, Sydney Symphony Orchestra, and Sydney Theatre Company. Global significance. Listed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site 2007 for its outstanding universal value in architecture and design. Icon of modern Australia. Much like the Eiffel Tower, Paris, or the Statue of Liberty. New York, closing parenthesis. Tourism importance. Attracts millions of visitors annually, both audiences and tourists, making it one of the most visited landmarks in Australia. A key contributor to Sydney's economy and global identity. Historical background. Sydney Opera House. Origins of the idea. 1940s. In the late 1940s, Eugene Goossens, conductor of the Sydney Symphony Orchestra, campaigned for a world-class venue in Sydney. At the time, Sydney lacked a proper concert hall, and large performances had to be held in town halls or movie theatres. International Design Competition, 1956. The New South Wales government launched a global competition for a new opera house design. More than 200 entries were submitted from 32 countries. Danish architect Jørn Utzon won with his bold and radical design featuring sail-like shells. His concept stood out for its visionary and futuristic approach. Construction 1959 to 1973. Groundbreaking. Construction began on the 2nd of March 1959. The project was divided into 3 stages: podium, roof shells, and interiors. Construction was far more complex than expected. Engineers had to develop new technologies and computer modeling techniques to realize the design. The roof's unique, sail-like geometry required years of problem-solving before a spherical solution was found in 1961. Cost and delays. Original estimate: award $7 million, completion in 5 years. Final reality: 14 years. Costing award $100+ million. Most of the funding came through a state lottery system, which helped reduce the burden on taxpayers. Architectural disputes and Utzon's resignation, 1966. Political conflicts and budget overruns led to disagreements between Utzon and the New South Wales government. Utzon resigned in 1966 and left Australia. He never saw the completed building in person. The interior spaces were finished by a team of Australian architects, but many believed Utzon's original interior vision was compromised. Opening ceremony 1973. Officially opened on the 20th of October 1973 by Queen Elizabeth II. The event included fireworks, performances, and a global broadcast. Despite the controversies, the Opera House was immediately hailed as an architectural marvel. Later, recognition and legacy. In 1999, Jørn Utzon was re-engaged as a design consultant to help restore elements of his vision. The Utzon Room opened in 2004, as the only interior space designed according to his specifications. In 2007, the Opera House was inscribed on the UNESCO World Heritage List, recognizing it as one of the great architectural works of the 20th century. Transformations over time. Sydney Opera House, 1960s, 1970s construction phase, and early years. During construction, the Opera House underwent several design modifications due to engineering difficulties, especially for the roof sails. After Utzon's resignation in 1966, a team of Australian architects reworked the interiors, focusing more on practicality and budget constraints. When it finally opened in 1973, it was hailed as a triumph of modern architecture, but criticized for compromised acoustics and design changes from Utzon's vision. 1980 as 1990s. Recognition and growing importance. The Opera House became increasingly recognized as Australia's cultural symbol. Despite some criticism over functionality, it hosted world-class performances and grew into one of the busiest performing arts centers in the world by the late 20th century. Calls to restore elements of Utzon's design gained momentum. 1990 2000's return of Utzon's vision. In 1999, Jørn Utzon was invited back as a design consultant. Although he never returned to Australia, he worked remotely with his son, Jørn Utzon. Significant upgrades were carried out. 2004, the Utzon Room was unveiled, the only interior completed entirely in accordance with Utzon's vision. Acoustics were improved and modernized in several performance spaces. This marked a reconciliation between the Opera House and its original creator. 2007 World Heritage status. The Sydney Opera House was officially listed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, acknowledged as a masterpiece of human creative genius. This recognition cemented its global, cultural, and architectural significance. 2010s, 2020s. Renewal and modernization. Extensive renovations and preservation projects took place to address aging infrastructure. 2013 to 2022, a decade-long renewal. Project improved acoustics, accessibility, safety, and sustainability. The concert hall underwent a major renovation completed in 2022, enhancing sound quality with advanced acoustic panels, new stage systems, and updated seating. Lighting technology was upgraded, making it possible for the sails to host large-scale projections during events such as Vivid Sydney. Present day, the Opera House continues to transform. Blending heritage preservation with modern innovation, it now functions not just as a performance venue, but as a multi-purpose cultural hub, hosting festivals, exhibitions, digital performances, and community events. Ongoing efforts ensure that while it remains a symbol of Australia's past architectural triumph, it also adapts to the needs of the 21st century. Architecture and design. Sydney Opera House architectural style, expressionist. Modern architecture, celebrated for its organic, sculptural form resembling billowing sails or seashells, harmonizing with the harbour setting, a global symbol of 20th century innovation and artistic engineering. Podium and base. The Opera House sits on a large granite podium quarried from Taranaki, New South Wales. The podium acts as a foundation and stage for the soaring roof shells. Its stepped terraces connect the structure visually with Sydney Harbour. Roof shells the sails. Most distinctive feature, a series of interlocking spherical shells that form the roof. Originally a major engineering challenge, final solution was to cut the sails from sections of a sphere, with a 75 meters radius, covered with over 1 million Swedish ceramic tiles in subtle shades of glossy white and matte cream, creating a shimmering effect under the sun and moonlight. Each shell is set resting on a precast concrete rib structure, dimensions: length 185 meters, 607 feet width, 120 meters, 394 feet, roof height 67 meters, 220 feet. Total site area 5.8 hectares, 14 acres, surrounded by water on 3 sides. It dominates the harbour skyline. Performance: venues and interior spaces. Concert hall, largest venue, 2,679 seats, home to the Sydney Symphony Orchestra. Features the world's largest mechanical organ, 10,154 pipes. Joan Sutherland Theatre, opera and ballet productions, with 1,500 plus seats. Drama theatre, playhouse, studio, smaller spaces for theatre, chamber music, and experimental performances. Utzon room, intimate space designed entirely to Jørn Utzon specifications, with a tapestry designed by him. Forecourt and foyers. Grand open-air forecourt hosts outdoor events. Foyers feature vast glass curtain walls overlooking the harbour. Construction innovations. One of the first major projects to use computer-aided design for structural calculations. Precast concrete techniques and modular construction were pioneered. The roof, design considered impossible at the time, became a landmark achievement in engineering, acoustics, and modern technology. Original interiors had acoustic floors, leading to later renovations. New sound reflectors, adjustable acoustic panels, and modern technology now ensure world-class sound quality. Lighting and stage systems are fully digitized, making it adaptable for diverse performances. Integration with surroundings. Its form echoes the natural environment waves of the harbour, sails of boats, and curves of the shoreline. The design unites architecture, engineering, and sculpture, blending built and natural beauty. Notable features: Sydney Opera House iconic roof sails, the instantly recognizable white ceramic tile-covered shells are the Opera House's signature feature. The interlocking design allows natural light to enter the interior spaces and reflect sunlight beautifully, making it a photographic icon. Concert hall, seats 2,679 people. Home to the Sydney Symphony Orchestra, features the world's largest mechanical pipe organ, with 10,154 pipes, providing exceptional acoustic quality. Renovated in 2022 to improve seating, acoustics, and stage facilities. Joan Sutherland Theatre, main venue for opera and ballet performances, with 1,500 seats, equipped with modern stage machinery to support complex productions. Drama theatre, playhouse, studio, and UTS room. Smaller performance spaces designed for theatre, chamber music, contemporary performances, and intimate gatherings. Utzon room, a tribute to Jørn Utzon's original interior vision, featuring custom design, tapestry, and timber finishes. Forecourt and glass foyers. Open-air forecourt accommodates outdoor events, including festivals, concerts, and public gatherings. Vast glass walls provide panoramic views of Sydney Harbour and the Harbour Bridge, integrating the building with its surroundings. Lighting and projection capability. The sails are used for light projection displays during events like Vivid Sydney. Dynamic lighting enhances both daytime and nighttime aesthetics, making it a 24/7 visual landmark. Public spaces and accessibility includes restaurants and bars such as Bennelong Restaurant and Opera Bar, offering harbour views. Accessible walkways and ramps allow visitors of all abilities to explore the site. Engineering marvel. The roof shells are self-supporting, constructed from precast concrete ribs, a pioneering technique at the time. Integration of advanced acoustics, climate control, and structural innovations makes it a benchmark in performance venue design. Cultural hub hosts over 1,500 performances annually and more than 10 million visitors. Functions as a space for opera, ballet, theatre, concerts, festivals, exhibitions, and community programs. Heritage and symbolism, recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. 2007 represents Australia's creative spirit and is a global symbol of modern architecture and cultural achievement. Cultural and symbolic significance. Sydney Opera House, national identity. The Opera House is Australia's most recognised cultural symbol, representing the nation's creativity, innovation, and modern identity. Its image appears on coins, stamps, travel materials, and official branding, making it synonymous with Australia globally. Architectural icon, celebrated as a masterpiece of 20th century architecture, demonstrating a perfect blend of art, engineering, and functionality. Its sail-like design reflects the natural environment of Sydney Harbour, harmonizing human construction with nature. Performing arts hub, home to major Australian arts companies, including Opera Australia, the Australian Ballet, Sydney Symphony Orchestra, and Sydney Theatre Company, serves as a platform for both national and international artists, promoting cultural exchange and artistic excellence. Global symbolism, often compared to landmarks like the Eiffel Tower or Statue of Liberty as a visual representation of its country. Its inclusion in the UNESCO World Heritage List 2007 highlights its universal value and influence on architecture worldwide. Tourism and public engagement attracts over 10 million visitors annually, including audiences, tourists, and participants in guided tours. Functions as a community space, hosting festivals, outdoor concerts, and public events, connecting people to culture in an accessible way. Artistic inspiration inspires architects, designers, and artists worldwide, frequently featured in films, photography, and literature, cementing its status as a symbol of creativity and innovation. Legacy of Jørn Utzon represents the vision and ingenuity of its architect, whose design broke conventional architectural norms. The building is a lasting tribute to artistic ambition and human ingenuity, bridging cultural heritage and modern expression, environmental and urban symbolism. Its location at Bennelong Point and integration with Sydney Harbour makes it a symbol of harmony between human development and nature. The Opera House's design emphasizes openness, light, and connection, embodying values of inclusivity and accessibility. Visitor information. Sydney Opera House. Opening hours. Generally open daily from early morning until late evening, except for Christmas Day and Good Friday. Specific venue. Hours may vary depending on performances or private events. Guided tours. Standard guided tours. 1-hour tours covering history, architecture, and behind-the-scenes areas. Backstage tour. In-depth exploration of stage machinery, rehearsal spaces, and performer areas. Specialty tours, focused on architecture, photography, or Utzon's design philosophy. Tours are available in multiple languages. Performances and tickets. Hosts over 1,500 performances annually, including opera, ballet, theatre, classical concerts, contemporary music, and community events. Tickets can be purchased online, at the box office, or through authorized resellers. Popular shows often sell out quickly, so advance booking is recommended. Restaurants and bars. Benalong Restaurant, fine dining experience within the Opera House. Opera bar, casual dining and drinks with panoramic harbour views, foyers and cafes, light meals and beverages. Offering outdoor seating overlooking Sydney Harbour. Accessibility, wheel, track-accessible entrances, elevators, and seating throughout major venues. Assistive listening devices and captioning. Available for performances, accessible restrooms and parking. Facilities are provided. Special events and festivals. Participates in Vivid Sydney. The annual Light, Music and Ideas Festival. Outdoor forecourt hosts concerts, community events, and open-air screenings. Seasonal exhibitions and artist talks frequently take place in foyers and smaller venues. Visitor tips. Best photo opportunities are at Circular Quay, Mrs. Macquarie's Point, and the Harbour Bridge. Pedestrian walkway. Arrive early for tours or performances to enjoy the forecourt and public areas. Combine a visit with a harbour cruise for panoramic views. Wear comfortable shoes if exploring the forecourt, terraces and podium steps. Annual visitors. Attracts approximately 10.9 million visitors per year, including tourists, performers, and local audiences. Modern challenges and preservation. Sydney Opera House, aging infrastructure. Constructed between 1959 to 1973. Much of the building's concrete, roofing, and mechanical systems are now over 50 years old. Regular maintenance is essential to address wear and tear from weather, heavy public use, and environmental exposure. Exposure to harbour environment, salt water, wind, and humidity accelerate corrosion of steel and concrete. Continuous monitoring and protective treatments are required to prevent structural damage. Heritage preservation. Listed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site 2007, meaning all renovations must respect Jørn Utzon's original design. Balancing modern upgrades with historical authenticity is a major ongoing challenge. Acoustic and technical upgrades. Original acoustics in some venues were flawed. Ongoing improvements include advanced sound systems, stage machinery, and lighting technology. Renovations, such as the concert hall upgrade completed 2022, enhanced performance quality while preserving architectural integrity. Sustainability and energy efficiency. Implementing energy-efficient lighting, water management systems, and sustainable building materials. Efforts include reducing energy consumption and minimizing the environmental footprint of events. Tourism pressure. Over 10 million visitors annually creates challenges in crowd management, maintenance, and protecting interior finishes. Large-scale events and festivals like Vivid Sydney increase operational stress. Funding and resource management. Preservation projects require significant investment, supported by government, ticket revenues, sponsorships, and donations. Long-term planning ensures structural safety and continued world-class visitor experiences. Legacy of Utzon's vision. Modern interventions aim to honor Utzon's artistic and architectural intent while adapting the building for contemporary needs. The Opera House remains a living structure, both a heritage icon and a functional performance venue. Sydney Opera House summary table feature. Details. Location: Benalong Point, Sydney Harbour, New South Wales, Australia. Architect: Jørn Utzon, Denmark. Construction period 1959-1973. Original cost estimate AUD 7 million. Final cost over AUD 100 million. Style expressionist, modern. Sail-shaped shells. Dimensions: length 185 meters 607 feet, width 120 meters 394 feet, roof height 67 meters 220 feet. Main performance venues: Concert Hall 2,679 seats, Jones Sutherland Theatre 1,500 seats, Drama Theatre, Playhouse, Studio. Utzon room. Roof interlocking precast concrete shells covered with over 1 million Swedish ceramic tiles. In your visitors, approximately 10.9 million. Opening ceremony the 20th of October 1973 by Queen Elizabeth I. UNESCO status World Heritage Site 2007. Major renovations: Utzon Room 2004, Concert Hall renovation 2022, ongoing accessibility, acoustic, and sustainability upgrades. Cultural significance: Australia's national cultural symbol, major performing arts centre, global architectural icon. Tourism and public access guided tours, performances, restaurants, bars, and public forecourt space. Size: the Sydney Opera House stands as one of the most extraordinary architectural achievements of the 20th century, blending visionary design, engineering ingenuity, and cultural purpose. Conceived by Danish architect Jørn Utzon, its sail-like roof shells have become an enduring symbol of Australia's creativity, innovation, and global identity. From its ambitious beginnings in the 1950s to its completion in 1973, the Opera House overcame enormous engineering challenges, political controversies, and budgetary constraints, ultimately emerging as a world-renowned masterpiece. Beyond its striking architecture, the Opera House functions as a vibrant cultural hub, hosting thousands of performances each year across opera, ballet, theatre, symphony, and contemporary music. Its versatile venues, including the Concert Hall, Jones Sutherland Theatre, and the Utzon Room, demonstrate the perfect union of aesthetic beauty and functional excellence. Public spaces such as the forecourt, foyers, and waterfront terraces invite millions of visitors annually to experience both the building and its spectacular harbour setting. As a UNESCO World Heritage Site, the Sydney Opera House represents not only technical brilliance, but also a lasting legacy of human creativity. Its ongoing preservation balances heritage protection with modern innovation, ensuring that acoustics, accessibility, sustainability, and visitor experience meet contemporary standards while respecting Utzon's original vision. Ultimately, the Opera House is more than a building. It is a global cultural icon, a symbol of Australia's artistic ambition, and a testament to what visionary design and human determination can achieve. Whether admired from the harbour, explored on a guided tour, or experienced through a live performance, it continues to inspire awe, celebrate creativity, and connect people with the enduring power of art and architecture.